believes me. I always beg him to protect me. He doesn't. He's over there chatting.
2, 3.
We're moving.
Behind the smiling faces and picture-perfect moments of John and Kate +8 lurked a storm of chaos, control, and controversy. What the cameras didn't show was a family unraveling under the weight of fame and fractured relationships. From legal battles to emotional scars, the Gosselin household harbored truths far darker than anyone imagined. These are the secrets they never wanted you to know. One of the most controversial and bizarre claims surrounding the Gosselin family's rise to fame comes from Robert Hoffman's tell-all book, Kate Gosselin, How She Fooled the World, The Rise and Fall of a Reality TV Queen. Hoffman alleges that Kate Gosselin may have consciously mirrored another family's extraordinary journey to national attention, specifically that of Bobby McCaughey, who became a media sensation in 1997 after giving birth to the world's first surviving set of septuplets. According to Hoffman, Kate was allegedly so captivated by the attention the McCaughey's received that she set her sights on creating a similar path for herself, going as far as strategically planning for high-order multiples. The book details what Hoffman describes as eerie and some downright creepy similarities between the two families. Both women were staunchly opposed to selective reduction during their pregnancies and credited their decisions to their Christian faith, often using nearly identical language. God gave us these kids. Most chilling, Hoffman points to the names of Kate's sextuplets. While Kate claimed in her book that the names were chosen randomly, her firstborn daughter and lastborn son, Alexis and Joel, are identical to the names and birth order of Bobby McCaughey's first and lastborn septuplets. Kate strongly denied the allegations, with a source close to her telling the Hollywood Gossip that while the book may contain many fabricated and untrue statements, she had no desire to drudge up old news. In his explosive book, Kate Gosselin, How She Fooled the World, author Robert Hoffman levels serious allegations against the former reality TV star, claiming she fabricated details of her fertility struggles to manipulate public perception and enhance her narrative. According to Hoffman, via Radar Online, Kate falsely claimed to suffer from polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, a condition that can make it difficult to conceive, in order to justify her use of aggressive fertility treatments. He alleges she was never officially diagnosed with PCOS, but instead sought out doctors who would prescribe medications associated with the condition to increase her chances of conceiving multiples. Hoffman goes further, claiming that Kate went behind the backs of her medical providers to self-administer additional doses of human chorionic gonadotropin, HCG, a hormone used to trigger ovulation. He alleges she purchased HCG from an overseas supplier using a pseudonym, K. Kaufman, and had it shipped to a secret post office box she set up to avoid detection. The implication is that Kate was not a victim of infertility, but rather orchestrated a pregnancy of multiples by any means necessary. Another excerpt, obtained by Starcasm, suggests Kate never suffered from fertility issues at all, and that she became pregnant in high school, but was allegedly forced to have an abortion by her father, a deeply personal claim that Kate has categorically denied. Despite the inflammatory nature of these assertions, Kate has largely avoided engaging with the book's claims publicly. Before the Gosselin family became a household name through reality television, author Robert Hoffman claims that Kate Gosselin had already set her sights on fame through her twin daughters, Maddie and Kara. In his book, Kate Gosselin, How She Fooled the World, via Radar Online, Hoffman alleges that Kate had dreams of turning her daughters into child stars long before the arrival of the sextuplets that eventually launched the family into the spotlight. According to him, Kate was determined to mold the twins into the next Olsen twins, aggressively pursuing casting opportunities for them from the time they were infants. Hoffman claims Kate had professional headshots taken of the girls and frequently brought them to auditions and casting calls in the hopes of landing commercial gigs or television roles. He portrays Kate as someone fixated on attaining fame and financial security through her children, even going so far as to suggest she viewed Mady and Kara as potential breadwinners for the family. These claims add another layer to the narrative of Kate's calculated rise to reality TV fame, portraying her as a stage mother long before the cameras began rolling on John and Kate +8. However, as with many of Hoffman's controversial assertions, Kate firmly denied the accusations, insisting that they were completely untrue and part of a larger smear campaign. In Kate Gosselin, How She Fooled the World, Robert Hoffman paints a portrait of a woman who was allegedly focused on wealth and status long before becoming a reality TV personality. According to Hoffman, via Radar Online, Kate's decision to pursue a nursing degree wasn't just a practical career move, it was part of a calculated effort to position herself closer to her true goal, marrying a rich doctor. A source quoted in the book claims Kate aggressively pursued physicians while in nursing school, regardless of their looks, only to be repeatedly rejected. Even the ugly ones, the source said, but she was turned down every time, and that made her mad. When the dream of landing a doctor didn't pan out, Kate reportedly shifted her focus to men with any financial means. One such man, Adam Miller, a factory worker, told Star magazine, via Starcasm, that he dated Kate before her rise to fame and lavished her with expensive gifts like a diamond bracelet and a gold locket. Miller claimed Kate was drawn to him because he had a steady cash flow. However, he says the relationship ended when he caught her cheating with a man who drove a Corvette and appeared to have even deeper pockets. She was always chasing the money, he told the tabloid. Years later, following her divorce from John Gosselin, Kate dated millionaire Jeff Prescott in 2015. But according to Entertainment Tonight, the relationship fizzled out by September of that year, when Prescott reportedly left her for a 26-year-old woman. Throughout all these claims of gold digging and relationship hopping, Kate has remained silent, never publicly acknowledging Miller's account or responding directly to the accusations laid out in Hoffman's book. In his controversial exposé, Kate Gosselin, How She Fooled the World, author Robert Hoffman delves into the early days of Kate and John Gosselin's relationship, alleging that it wasn't romance or instant chemistry that brought them together, but rather Kate's interest in John's family wealth. According to Hoffman, via Starcasm, Kate wasn't initially drawn to John himself, but to his privileged background. He writes that John lived on the best street in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania, a desirable and affluent area, and that this appealed to Kate's long-standing ambition to secure financial stability through her relationships. Hoffman claims that John's father, a well-off doctor, was instrumental in supporting the couple in their early years. He allegedly paid for their wedding, bought them their first home in Wyomissing, and even provided them with generous monthly checks to keep them financially afloat. According to Hoffman, this steady support gave Kate a taste of the lifestyle she aspired to, and marrying John was, in her eyes, a strategic move. While John has not publicly responded to these specific allegations, Kate has voiced suspicion that he may have contributed to the book's contents. She has previously accused him of leaking personal information, suggesting she believes he played a role in helping Hoffman compile the scathing material. Despite the inflammatory claims, John has remained largely silent, neither confirming nor denying his involvement. While John and Kate +8 captured much of the couple's tension and unraveling relationship, especially during its later seasons, it left out a critical event that may have irreparably damaged their marriage. On March 28, 2009, Kate's birthday, John Gosselin was accused of cheating, a scandal that played out far from the reality show's cameras. According to Us Weekly, John spent that weekend not with his wife or children, but on a ski trip in Park City, Utah, accompanied by a 23-year-old schoolteacher named Deanna Hummel. Multiple eyewitnesses claimed John and Hummel were anything but platonic travel buddies, The pair were allegedly seen cuddling, drinking, and getting cozy throughout the night. One waitress who served them didn't mince words, telling Us Weekly, "John was a dirtball." Despite their denials to People magazine, photographic and video evidence published by Us Weekly showed the two looking far more intimate than casual friends. Yet when the show aired footage from that weekend, the scandal was notably absent. Instead, TLC presented John skiing with developmentally challenged children while Kate was shown spending her birthday alone, underscoring her growing isolation. The edited version omitted the controversy, creating a sanitized narrative for viewers, one that didn't reflect the growing storm behind the scenes. This alleged infidelity is widely believed to have been the final blow to the already crumbling Gosselin marriage. In a last-ditch effort to save their troubled marriage, John and Kate Gosselin reportedly turned to couples therapy, but even that, it seems, ended in controversy and unresolved tension. According to the New York Daily News, the therapy sessions failed to mend their fractured relationship and ultimately led to legal trouble. Not only did the counseling fail to prevent their eventual divorce, but the couple also allegedly never paid for the services they received. In May 2011, nearly 2 years after their very public split, Kate was ordered by a judge to pay $10,000 to a former marriage counselor who claimed she had never been compensated for her work with the couple. The therapist filed a lawsuit for unpaid fees, asserting that she provided professional services with the expectation of payment, which never came. Kate responded by appealing the court's decision and denying that she had any contractual agreement with the counselor. She maintained that there was no binding arrangement obligating her to pay the claimed amount. Despite her appeal, the legal judgment spotlighted yet another messy chapter in the Gosselin saga, one marked by broken relationships, financial disputes, and unresolved conflicts extending far beyond the reality TV cameras. Since the end of John and Kate Plus 8, both John and Kate Gosselin have struggled to find stable footing in their post-reality TV careers. Once the spotlight faded, sustaining steady employment proved difficult for both parents of 8. For John, the transition was particularly rocky. According to TMZ, he found himself in serious legal trouble when his former employer, Securus, sued him for allegedly aiding a direct competitor while he was still employed in a sales role. John never responded to the lawsuit, and as a result, the judge issued a default judgment against him, awarding Securus nearly $1 million in damages. In the years following, John took on a variety of jobs, including working as a DJ and in the food service industry. At one point, he was even employed at a TGI Fridays, demonstrating just how far he had fallen from his reality TV days. Kate, on the other hand, managed to remain in the public eye, albeit sporadically. She was hired to write for CouponCabin.com, where she shared money-saving tips for about 11 months. However, people reported that she was unexpectedly fired from the gig, with the company offering little explanation for her dismissal. She also competed on Celebrity Apprentice, but was fired by Donald Trump in January 2016, cutting her run on the show short. Together, their post-show struggles reflect the challenges of transitioning from TV fame to everyday working life. After his divorce from Kate Gosselin, John's love life quickly spiraled into tabloid chaos. He began dating Haley Glassman, a then 22-year-old who was the daughter of the plastic surgeon who performed Kate's tummy tuck. Their relationship made headlines due to the age difference and John's increasing presence in the celebrity gossip circuit. But things took a turn for the worse when cheating allegations surfaced, adding yet another layer of scandal to John's already messy post-divorce image. According to In Touch Weekly, via the New York Daily News, John allegedly cheated on Glassman with Stephanie Santoro, a former waitress who had been hired as a nanny to care for the Gosselin children. Santoro claimed that she and John had hooked up 9 times during his relationship with Glassman, and her mother added even more fuel to the fire in an interview with Radar Online. She revealed that John confided in Stephanie, admitting he didn't see Haley as wife material or as someone suited to step into a motherly role for his kids. However, he told Santoro he couldn't end things just yet with Haley because she was involved in business ventures with him, most notably a clothing line. The affair effectively torpedoed John's relationship with Glassman. Although he reportedly tried to reconcile with her afterward, the trust was broken, and their relationship ultimately couldn't be salvaged. The scandal solidified John's reputation as a tabloid fixture and contributed to his continued fall from grace in the public eye. Rumors have long swirled about John Gosselin's involvement in the dirt, revealed about his ex-wife, Kate, in a book by author Robert Hoffman. It's alleged that John may have been the source of much of the controversial information, with questionable methods of obtaining the details. Former nanny Santoro, in an interview with Radar Online, shared unsettling revelations about John's behavior during his marriage breakdown and his brief affair with her. According to Santoro, John confessed to hacking into Kate's private accounts during their tumultuous split. He pretty much hacked into everything of Kate's that he had access to, she claimed. This included her online banking and emails, where John reportedly had a system that ensured he received a copy of every message she received. Santoro went on to say that John had gathered enough material that, when the right moment came, he would be able to completely screw her over. Despite these explosive claims, John was reportedly very cautious about his own reputation. Santoro revealed that John frequently threatened to sue anyone who spoke out about his actions. When Kate caught wind of Hoffman's book, she attempted to stop its release by filing a lawsuit against him for wiretapping, hacking, identity theft, and invasion of privacy. Ultimately, she dropped the case, and John never addressed the allegations publicly. According to Radar Online, multiple former nannies of Kate Gosselin painted a picture of a harsh and demanding employer, revealing that she maintained a strict and overwhelming set of rules for her staff. In addition to caring for her 8 children, nannies were reportedly expected to take on various household chores, including cleaning, pet care, maintaining the chicken coop, which involved cleaning up after the flock, and ensuring that the home never looked lived in, despite the chaos of raising a large family. Staff members were also forbidden from placing their purses on counters or floors, told to walk lightly to avoid making noise, and required to handle tasks like cooking, laundry, and landscaping. Former employees described Kate as condescending and overbearing, with one nanny claiming she never let anything slide. The demands, combined with a tense work environment, led some to quit. As one former worker admitted, it was a total pain. Another nanny revealed to us weekly that Kate's behavior was not only demeaning, but also volatile, claiming she would flip out regularly. By 2005, Kate had gone through 40 different nannies and aides. Despite these challenges, Kate reportedly sought government assistance to help care for her children, even as she shopped them around for reality television fame. While Kate has remained silent on these allegations, the stories hint at a demanding Type A personality, one that seemed to be a perfect fit for managing the chaos of her high-profile family life. John Gosselin's rebound romance with Morgan Glassman, the daughter of Kate's plastic surgeon, sparked controversy when Glassman revealed in an interview with Access Hollywood that John allegedly tipped off paparazzi to their whereabouts during their time together. Glassman, who became entangled in the media frenzy surrounding John's life, explained how the press painted her as a trashy party girl mistress, despite the fact that John and Kate had been separated for nearly a year by that point. Glassman shared her shock when she learned that John had been orchestrating their public appearances, stating, "I had no idea how the media worked. I find out while I'm hiding under the bed that he was setting me up the whole time with pictures, and I'm thinking to myself, how did they know I'm here?" This revelation raised questions about John's involvement in fueling his own public image. John's other ex-girlfriend, Kate Major, further accused him of using the media to damage Kate's reputation. She told Radar Online that John actively spread rumors about Kate, claiming she had an affair with her bodyguard, Steve Neild, and tried to rally his friends against her as a mother. These allegations painted a picture of John as someone who was intent on undermining his ex-wife at every turn. However, despite these serious accusations from his exes, it seems somewhat unlikely that John would have been the one to directly call the paparazzi, given that he had once fired a warning shot at a photographer and publicly apologized to Kate in 2012 for their contentious public feud. This contradiction raises doubts about the true extent of John's involvement in media manipulation, especially considering his previous attempts to distance himself from such behavior. In January 2016, John Gosselin made a candid revelation about TLC's involvement in his divorce from Kate during an appearance on The Steve Harvey Show. He shared how the network tried to intervene in their personal lives to keep them together for the sake of the show's ratings. According to John, both he and Kate were already aware that their marriage was ending, but TLC pressured them to stay together in front of the cameras. John was firm in his decision, stating, "We knew we were going to get divorced, and then the network tried to keep us together for the benefit of the show." However, John drew a line when it came to airing their divorce for public consumption. He explained, "I quit. I said, I'm not having my divorce filmed. I'm not having it aired out for the public's consumption, and I'm not having reruns so my children can keep on watching the demise of their parents." John's stance was one of moral integrity over business interests, as he felt the toll of the public scrutiny and exploitation was too great for him and his children. "I just took a moral stance versus a business stance," John remarked. The decision to step away from the show came with significant personal consequences, as he revealed that it cost him dearly. "I lost everything. I lost all my money. I lost everything," John admitted, adding that TLC ultimately sided with Kate, further deepening the rift. His choice to prioritize his family's well-being over the network's demands marked a pivotal moment in his life, one that ultimately led to a fallout with the network and a dramatic shift away from the public eye. John Gosselin's appearance on Couples Therapy with then-girlfriend Liz Janetta may not have been the result of an ideal match, according to sources close to the situation. A source told Radar Online that Liz wasn't John's first choice for the show, revealing that he had actually approached his ex-girlfriend, Morgan Glassman, before settling on Janetta. The source claimed, "John reached out to Haley a few months ago with a lucrative opportunity if she'd just, as he put it, pretend to date him again." John's desperation to make the most of his reality TV appearances was apparent, and he reportedly told Glassman that the opportunity could net her $200,000. Despite the offer, Glassman declined to participate, leaving John to turn to Liz, who was not as well known to the public. John, according to the source, believed that having Glassman on the show would create better publicity for him, as she was a recognizable figure, whereas Liz was largely unknown. However, John's plan didn't materialize the way he hoped. The couple's time on Couples Therapy was short-lived, and their relationship eventually ended. Following his split from Liz, John moved on, and by July 2015, was dating Colleen Conrad, a registered nurse with 2 teenage children of her own, according to Us Weekly. Despite the drama surrounding his earlier relationships and reality TV appearances, John seemed to have settled into a quieter, more private life with Colleen. Kate Gosselin's time on Dancing with the Stars was brief, but it left a lasting impression on her dance partner, Tony Dovolani. In a March 2012 interview with Anderson Cooper via E! News, Dovolani opened up about the difficult experience of working with Kate. While he chuckled during the conversation, his tone suggested that the experience was far from enjoyable. "You call that dance?" "We didn't dance. There was a lot of therapy involved," Dovolani admitted, implying that the process of coaching Kate through the competition was more emotionally challenging than the physical aspect of dancing. His comment hinted at the tension and difficulties that arose during their time together on the show. Kate, known for her poised public image, took a more diplomatic approach when responding to Dovellani's remarks. On her blog, she expressed regret that Dovellani had left their time together with such a negative view. "I think it is a shame that Tony has been left only with a negative impression of our time together," she wrote. Despite the challenges they faced, Kate emphasized the effort they put into the competition, acknowledging the countless hours, days, and nights they spent rehearsing. She closed her statement on a positive note, wishing Dovellani nothing but the best in future seasons for Tony and his prospective dance partners. Her response reflected her commitment to maintaining a professional image, even in the face of criticism from her former partner. In November 2013, John Gosselin opened up on Oprah's Where Are They Now about his concerns regarding the developmental issues his children faced. While he acknowledged the material advantages his kids had, such as the ability to travel the world, trust funds, and solid educational opportunities, John expressed deep concerns about the emotional and social challenges they were experiencing. He explained, "Yes, they got to travel the world, and yes, they got these fabulous things, and yes, they have trust funds, and they're taken care of educationally. Great. But developmentally, they have problems with their peers, and they have problems with talking to other people, and they have problems with wants and needs and manners and morals and what's right and what's wrong. John seemed to believe that the public exposure and the pressures of growing up in the spotlight had a negative impact on their development, which, he claimed, was more significant than what children typically face when not raised in the media's gaze. Kate initially denied John's claims, but over time it became apparent that he may have been onto something. In August 2016, Kate publicly acknowledged that their son, Colin, was receiving professional help for special needs. Speaking with People, Kate shared, "Colin has special needs," explaining that while the exact diagnosis was fluid, Colin needed specific strategies to help him manage certain challenges. She admitted that it had been an ongoing struggle that she had primarily faced alone, but emphasized that the impact extended beyond just Colin and affected the entire family. Her admission came after years of vague denials about the difficulties her children faced. In 2011, when rumors swirled that Colin and his twin sister Alexis had been expelled from school, Kate had dismissed the rumors, attributing their behavior to post-divorce anger and claiming their school was not meeting their needs. However, her later confession provided a more nuanced understanding of the challenges her children were navigating. In March 2015, John Gosselin filed court documents that raised serious allegations against his ex-wife Kate, particularly regarding the treatment of their children. In the filings, which were obtained by the National Enquirer, John claimed that their children had reported disturbing behavior that led him to fear for their safety. According to the documents, the children told their teachers they were scared, with one incident involving their daughter Alexis breaking a mirror in an attempt to escape her locked bedroom to use the bathroom. John alleged that Kate had switched the doorknobs on the children's rooms so that the doors could only be locked from the outside, effectively locking them in their rooms at night. John expressed his concern for their well-being, citing this as a safety issue, especially in the event of an emergency, calling it a fire hazard. John further alleged troubling behavior regarding the children's meals. He claimed that Kate would pack the same food items in the children's lunchboxes repeatedly, even if they hadn't eaten them the previous day. He noted that his daughter Hannah had complained about moldy strawberries, and Alexis reported receiving stale sandwiches. John even claimed that the same leftovers were packed in multiple children's lunchboxes for weeks, raising questions about the children's diet and well-being. These accusations were part of John's ongoing battle for custody, particularly for his daughter Hannah. As of the last reports, there has been no significant update on the case, and Kate retained custody of the children, though the allegations painted a concerning picture of the children's living conditions at the time. John Gosselin's relationship with his children has been complicated, especially regarding his financial support and involvement in their lives. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, John admitted that he does not pay child support to Kate, who has primary custody of their 8 children. While John claimed that he and Kate both financially support the kids, he explained that he provides for them when they are at his house, saying, "I buy their own groceries. They have their own groceries at my house, their own bedrooms, their own stuff. It's doubled." However, this arrangement is somewhat misleading, as the children only visit John once a week, and not all of them come each time. His minimal involvement with his children has raised questions about the fairness of his contributions, both financially and emotionally. John's limited time with his children was further highlighted in a January 2016 appearance on The Steve Harvey Show, where he revealed that he hadn't seen one of his sons in over a year and a half. He explained that he and Kate do not co-parent or communicate, and his visits with the kids are unpredictable. "Most of the time, I get 4 kids visiting weekly," he said. "I haven't seen all of my kids together in about 3 years." John expressed frustration, explaining that when he pulls up to the gate at Kate's house, he has no idea which children will come down the driveway to see him. In contrast, his daughter Maddie Gosselin spoke out in August 2016, telling people that John's public statements about being kept from his children were misleading. She explained, "He makes it seem like we're being kept from him, which is insane. He should maybe spend some time thinking about why we don't want to see him and maybe realize that if he ever does want a relationship with us, talking about us on TV is not the way to make that happen." Maddie further expressed her frustration, saying, "He doesn't even know us. How can he dare to talk about us?" This pointed remark reflected the emotional distance between John and his children, and how his public comments about their family dynamics have only further strained their relationship. What do you think about the Gosselin family? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.